I'm just going to talk to you a little bit tonight. I'm a rideshare driver. I've been a driver for, gosh, probably since 2006. I moved from Hawaii to California. I had gotten out of the Navy. I ended up meeting my wife, now of 16 years, and met her online actually. And began to correspond with her for several months, through email, through phone calls, and then eventually was invited over to California from Hawaii. I was completely out of the Navy at that time and was invited over to visit her, meet her family. Um, Long story short, everything went well, obviously. We're married now 16 years. We have 4 kids. We live in Arizona, but end up moving to California. And my first job there in California was as a route sales representative with a uniform company just outside of Oakland. And what appealed to me about driving was being out from underneath managerial presence, being out in the open space. Enjoyed driving, enjoyed interacting with customers, people on the streets. And so that was 2006. That was my first job. After a few years there, I ended up moving over to Nestle, where I got involved with the distribution and sales of ice cream and some food products. And after 3 or 4 years there, I ended up getting out of that business for a few years to become a personal trainer and to experience life as a trainer. So I got certified in NASM and CrossFit. At that time, CrossFit was blowing up in Northern California and around the world, actually. And so really enjoyed that time, got involved with it. But the money wasn't great, so I got back into driving, this time for Nestle Water. And after a few years with them, ended up getting let go. And around that time is when we decided to move to Arizona. And wasn't driving right away out here in Arizona, but ended up getting involved with a water company out here for a few years until finally got let go from them. Long story. I messed up. Big, a few times there. Crazy stories, but everything actually worked out for good. So I'm grateful. So we ended up, I moved on into the area of, I hooked up with Lyft. After being let go from the water company out here, I hooked up with Lyft, and then eventually Uber a few years later. But I worked for a year through a temp agency as a driver for the city of Tempe, Arizona. And I was building my Lyft business. I mean, building means I was doing it as a side hustle, developing an understanding of how this business worked. Before and after work, I would probably do around 30 hours, 25, 30 hours a week while working 40-hour work weeks. So I was doing like 70, 80-hour work weeks. And so now I've been, after 1 year, and getting out of, the work I was doing with the staffing agency, I've been full-time rideshare driving for over 5 years. I've amassed over 40,000 rides and really gotten to know a lot about humanity through this experience. Point blank, it's been a ministry for me, to see the commonalities of man across the board and its correlation with the Bible and how true it is. So it's been a great social experiment. I'm going to continue this conversation, but we'll just just say this is a little bit about my story. Just remember this, for lack of knowledge, people are perishing out there. For a lack of a redemptive revelation of Jesus and of God, there is a perishing. Because apart from that, there is no overall sense of personal identity, no sense of value, no sense of your destiny. So I witnessed it firsthand. When people are out here partying, that is a stealer, a killer of time, of energy, and of purpose. Because people are lost, absolutely lost, to who they are, to how valuable they are, and to why they are. I gotta go, but God bless. I'm gonna run this back again. I'll see you tomorrow.